All right. What's up, guys? Quick sound check. Let me know you can hear me. Oh, I can hear myself. Sweet. I'm gonna get this posted up real quick, and then what up, Joe? Thought you was banned. Thought you was banned from coming on. You gotta cut this guy off. What's up, Miguel? How you doing, Ryan? Um, what a day. Yeah, tell me about it. A freaking the move that I kind of thought we would see. What was that? Tuesday, yesterday. That was kind of the move in which I thought we would see then, but of course not. We end up getting it today. The Russell and Dow made the move for sure. I think there's still a little bit more to go. I'm hoping that that can be saved until tomorrow. What do you mean you copy paste? There we go. He said you don't need free accounts. Let me get this link for Osborne real quick. He said I need them all. Oh, got you, got you. Oh, I see what you're talking about. CBRL might be worth a little position stab for the long side here. Today was a good day for a little swing, if anything. You got stopped on RTY right before the move. Yeah, the Russell made. You can go back and watch the stream from today, but it made a really nice move and was essentially there and ready to go off those 8170s. And just absolutely it just ripped to the upside, which is super unfortunate for me. But yeah, I'll take a look at CBRL. We'll let a couple of people trickle in here and then figure it out from there. We had a good show. What, 2 weeks ago we did it, and we had a good show up rate. We'll see if we can get close to the same. There was like 50 couple people last week. Today seems like a little slow start so far. 19 people. Your odds of winning are looking pretty good at the moment. Let me jump on this call with Osborne. There we go. What up, dude?
What up, my G? Oh, what up, my G? What's up, lady?
My yearly salary? I don't have a salary. I gotta work for every dollar. There's no guaranteed. The only thing you guaranteed is life, death, and taxes. And you really ain't guaranteed life for all that long, to be honest. Loving the shades. He said exclamation raffle already though. So to put it in perspective, just for easy numbers, again, it's all relative. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Um, it's all different for every person, right? It's based on size. It's based on all the things. I've been doing this for a long time, and last month trading, which is just one account that I showed, trading just very small size micro contracts, right? A fraction of a normal size, was good for like $4,500, and that was with like missing a couple days. I was on vacation for a week. Um, I had one losing day, which was like $29. So yeah, multiply that out by 10, and if you just traded the same exact thing on full size contracts, that's where you'd be, right? But again, it's all relative to where you are. Like, don't think you're going to come into this and start swinging and pulling down six-figure months. Are they possible? Sure. Have I had them? Yes. Will you have them month 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, 12? Probably not, honestly. Like, real talk. If you do, have you had a six-figure month yet, Osborne?
6-figure month? No.
How long you been trading?
I've been trading. Well, I took your. When was that? I just posted it. It was 2023. Was it late? I just posted it. I forgot what date it was. Um, but I learned about trading in 2022.
So
So I don't.
coming up on year 4, basically.
Coming up on year 4, yeah. 2022, 23, 24, 25, 26. Yep.
Yeah, it takes time.
But I didn't really, yeah, 2023, I took your mentorship and really learned charts. And it took me a whole year to fully understand that as well as start to implement it before I even became confident in taking trades. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. It
It
takes
was, it was a good 2 years of being lost.
it takes
It would have
time
been
for sure.
7 to 25 years if I didn't find you.
That's fair.
Glad I did.
That's fair. Let me see if I can load up this cloud bot real quick. Giveaways. All right, sweet. You hate school and work, so you need something you can use your time on. I mean, again, I'm biased, obviously, but student success speaks for itself. You can either spend a ton of time learning on your own, going through the whole YouTube university, everything like that, or you can take a high quality mentorship like the one that we have at MLT, which I think is honestly even better than it was when I was doing them live personally. I think now, with the way in which it's set up and the amount of content and the amount of days in which you can go back and review and all those things inside of the program now, I think it's even more valuable than it was. And you sat through what, like 4 or 5 of them live. You were there for a bunch of
Yeah.
them.
I look back on that, and I don't know if that was it's definitely beneficial, but I feel like I fell into a bit of a loop there where I would like obviously go through my mentorship and then like time would pass and I would learn everything and then I go, I don't know, I was just overthinking a lot, right? And it's so that's why I press on that a lot. It's like it's easy to overthink a system that is not fugazi because if it's not fugazi, it should be simple in a sense. And it's like once you simplify it, there's not much to it. So it's easy for us to overcomplicate it and overthink it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, there's a difference between saying you're overthinking it and not really knowing what you're looking at and shit. But yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that's definitely it's super easy to overthink or get in your own way about current markets or markets in general. He said thanks for the system. Yeah, dude. Levels are undefeated. That's for sure. I'm biased again, but I still think it's the best.
Men lie, women lie, levels do not.
This guy says, "Where's the giveaway?" I'm setting it up, bro. I'm setting it up.
Say, bro, quit fucking wasting time. Is cussing bad on here?
I don't
Does
know.
that matter?
I don't honestly know. All right. Giveaways at the end, so we vibing. I'm gonna fire it off real quick with a actually I'll change the time on this one. We'll do a little rapid fire. We'll do 10 minutes on it. We'll give away a free Apex account to start off with.
Way to go for show.
Let's start off with an Apex account. If you guys don't already have an Apex account here, I will drop the link for that. Code MLT. He said, "Don't pick me." New to channel. What's up, Tony? How you doing, bro? Exclamation raffle in the chat. I'll get you guys entered for that a giveaway. We'll give away a free Apex account to start off with. I dropped the link for them there as well. What do we got? We got 33 people tuning in, so we should see 33 people entered. Exclamation raffle in the chat. Also, I'm gonna grab you guys a link. We might do something a little bit different. Osborne and I were talking about it before we got on. We might hide a couple extra codes in and around a couple places in the Discord. So I'm gonna give you guys a free link into the Discord. If I can remember where that's at. My brain had a little freeze there for a second.
Is there already a raffle on YouTube?
Yep, I just dropped it in. I'm gonna go ahead and pin that message. So if you're not already in the Discord, go ahead and it's free to sign up. All you gotta do, name, email, etc. Jump yourselves in the Discord. And we might hide a couple free accounts in there too. We'll have some fun, play a couple games with it a little bit. But yeah, let's take a look at markets. We got 8 minutes on that. So yeah, exclamation raffle in the chat. You can't join through WAP.
I'm gonna make you change your screen. Change it to like a 5 grid. Obviously, you can get rid of whatever time frame you don't want. I think that's more valuable.
Oh, you want me to switch it up a little bit?
Yeah, you could detach it and.
I don't know if I can at the moment.
Detach your big one? No.
No, because it's pulling like this specific window. What you want? I can change this.
I was just gonna give multiple time frames as you look at markets.
Oh, you want me to throw yours up there?
If you want me to. That's easier.
I'll throw your yeah, throw your screen up there.
I was just thinking of 5 grid.
I'll switch it up for next time.
Yeah, no biggie then. It's no big deal.
What why can't you join Coley? Did we talk about this last time?
Why you can't join Discord?
If you can't, I tell you what, if you can't join through WAP, it's banned in India. All right, I tell you what, Osborne, drop your Instagram real quick. Shoot him a DM on Instagram. He'll get you a link.
Get you a link to what?
To just straight to Discord. That WAP.
Which should work.
Yeah, I sent you one.
Yeah, it's odds to trade, my G. I
You
think
wanna?
on the
You say you want a link to? Bro, you should already be in the Discord. Like real talk. All right,
Maybe like
exclamation.
Snipe's gonna come live with us soon.
He should.
Maybe next.
I'm gonna send him a DM right now.
What do y'all think about that? I'm gonna try to get every Thursday to be some sort of collaboration where we get multiple people that know the system on video. Love to have you, Snipe.
Yeah, you got to be
And
present to win. We do a little timer, so you got to be listening in to win. I'm gonna hit you up right now. Boom.
forgot what I was about to
I
do.
opened the door. You said I'm not in the Discord. Shut your ass up. Can you invest $1 in my business? Stupid ass. All right. Let's talk about markets though here. Throw me out 20 minutes in. We got 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go actually on the giveaway. Bro, my buddy texted me the the shop that's getting built. He was figuring up interior dimensions and all that stuff. And for the ceiling, we are like 18 inches off from having the shop, the interior dimensions of the shop, be 420 inches by 690 inches. We're legitimately 18 inches off, a foot and a half from the interior dimensions of the shop being 420 by 690. I was like, that's a fail. I was like, tear it down, start over.
Yeah, what the fuck? How'd y'all miss?
I know, right? Um,
Tesla was a ripper.
Tesla was a nice move. We mentioned it in pre-market. That was unfortunate. It was the only thing, like talking individual names, right? Is if we go ahead and look at this, you can see clearly. I mean, it did get a gap up this morning, 432.10s. It was one of the only things that was getting a gap up. We had that big Microsoft news that came out. Obviously, Microsoft getting a big gap to the downside there. And so were the Qs, right? With that, it was actually looking fairly bearish initially here until we got that divergence this morning right there. But yeah, the relative strength name of the day being Tesla here, and I think we talked about it a little bit on stream too. I think that's a pretty bold statement. Like this move overall right now, I think in Tesla is saying that it wants basically $500. What do you think?
I liked it. The reason I didn't like it today was because there was no level
There was no
to
level to
work
work with.
with. Yeah, as far as day trade, but yeah, I mean that chart looks nice. I think a lot of the names, like Google, is one that I'm biased on, but I think a lot of these names are just going to keep running.
Yeah, Google's had an
That's my bias.
insane move. We talked about Google for a core position at like 180. It's been a massive
Been a runner.
ripper. You still holding a little bit, right?
Yep, I'm still swinging my day trade, half my day trade.
I like that. I think you might get 327s this week if we can continue this move in the indices.
Yeah, we got nothing to work with on no levels on ES and NQ, do we?
No, I don't think so. You guys got 1 minute left on the giveaway here. Exclamation raffle in the chat. And you can only get entered one time. I see that question there. He said, I'm red today and I'm not happy about it. Could have done better. What'd you take?
Yeah, why are you red? You stick to your plan?
Let's see.
Oh, that's as long as you stuck to your plan, my G.
He said, I swear that little room with Rob in it has people I never see on any other chat. So the people that are with Rob in that chat, they've been with him for like 15 years. Like that core group of like 5 to 7 people that he gets, they just have literally traded together for, it might even be longer than 15 years. Because I've known Rob now going on, I've known Rob almost 15 years. So they've probably been trading together low key 20 years. Maybe even a couple more than that.
My baby SMH looking good.
SMH.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that does look good.
I've been buying that the last like 3 years.
Yeah, that's a solid looking move right there. $400 to end the year.
Why not?
I'd like that for you.
Who won the raffle?
Let's find out. Let's find out. Let's pick a winner here. Shadow
Ooh,
too
looks
late.
like I was about to say Shadow got in last second, or was he too late?
He's too late. He's too late. All right, let's pick a winner here. Let's go. Raiden Cohen, 95.58. We'll do some more. We'll do some more. Let's see if he's in there. We'll set the timer real quick. Hey Siri, set a timer for 3 minutes.
In 3 minutes? It's a lot of time.
Oh, he's there. He's there. Congrats, dude. Congrats. Hit me up in Discord. Shoot me a DM real quick, and I'll get you set up. He said R.I.P. Well, someone asked earlier what I thought about the new Apex plan, and I like it. I think we were talking through risk today. I'm gonna pull that piece out that I was talking through on live stream and talk about it. I think the select plan is pretty solid. We're gonna give 2 of those away tonight. We'll give a couple Apex accounts away, and we'll go ahead and complete this. We'll drop another Apex giveaway right there. So yeah, go ahead, exclamation raffle in the chat. New giveaway firing up. Exclamation raffle in the chat. But yeah, to talk through the new Tradeify plan there, I like it. The select plan I think is pretty solid. At the moment, I think just from a pure price standpoint, profit target, risk, all those things, I think the 50K is the way in which to go. So for 95 bucks, you get $2,000 worth of drawdown. It's end of day drawdown. There's no daily loss limit, and the profit target you have to hit to pass the eval is 2,500 bucks. I think when you go to the 100K, the max drawdown you get is 3 grand, and now your profit target becomes 6 grand. So for getting only an extra $1,000 worth of drawdown from the 50K, you got to make an extra 3,500 bucks in order to pass. So I don't think that from a numbers standpoint, like if I was to game the system on this, which I am, the way in which I'm going to be looking at it is the 50K for that reason. And then the same thing holds true for the 150K is, yes, you get to trade more contracts, all of those things. I get that part. But at the same time, your risk is not enough to justify how much more you have to make. So when you move up to the 150K, Now you need your max drawdowns $4,500, and your profit target then becomes $9,000. So you're getting, yes, an extra $2,500 worth of risk over the 50K, but you now need to make an extra $6,500. So again, and it's 215 bucks. So again, for me, I think the best deal from that standpoint is going to end up being on the 50K for 95 bucks. As far as I understand, it's a one-time payment, no activation fee, and it's the same exact price to reset. Oh, Alpha has the same drawdown percentage? He said, ouch. Y'all got 7 minutes to go, by the way. Exclamation raffle in the chat. So yeah, from that standpoint, I think, and I don't know if I can share this or not. Let me, I don't know how to do that. I don't think I can at the moment. I dropped it in Discord. I'll copy the image. I'll drop it in the free chat though for you guys as well. So if you're in the Discord, you can check out that little graphic. It kind of gives you the overview, and that's what I was working with. Oh, you've been on Take Profit Trader? Nice. Code MLT works over there too. They've been around for a while. They're an older, more established prop firm for sure. So Alpha Future evals and funded have same drawdown per account. Advanced accounts are a bit different because I don't think they can have consistency rules. And you can pull 15K per account. Nice. I have yet to trade with Alpha. He said one-time payment. I'll drop the link again. Here's the link for Tradeify. We'll give one of those away here once we finish up this giveaway. We got 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Yeah, I'll check them out. I saw a couple other comments up here. Do I ever go live, or do you purposely fail to keep getting payouts? So I'm actually trying to go live at the moment. Well, I'm trying to go live with Lucid, and I'm trying to go live with Top One. And then I haven't traded Tradeify since the Grand Cup. So with the new select plan, I think for me personally, I'm going to go with the I want to check one thing which I haven't done just yet. The 5-day payout, so the flex plan, the having to make 5 days instead of going for the daily payout, I think I'm going to go with the flex plan at the moment. So I think the daily payouts has a nice route to it, but I think I'm gonna go with the flex plan because the max payout's a little bit higher. It's kind of the same thing with Lucid. We were talking about that from how much you're able to take over to a live standpoint. We'll see if it makes sense. But yeah, that's my goal. I really only started getting a bit more aggressive. I got turned back on. I got turned back on with Apex last month, or no, September. No, October. Wait, what is it? December? Yeah, October. So I was supposed to go live with Apex like a year ago, basically, and then they shut me down and wouldn't let me have any more accounts, and then never pushed me live. So I was like, that kind of sucks. But and then I didn't really trade much in the way of, obviously I couldn't trade Apex, in the way of props here until Tradeify came about, Top One, Lucid, and we're gonna run it up on them though. Lucid Live is weird with the escrow thing. Yeah, That's the thing I don't love is like you can only take a certain amount of money over when you go live, um, as opposed to like all the profits in which you have essentially. So when am I giving out Vanquish? Dude, so I sent you that video, right? It's in the works. Um yeah, anything above 5K disappears, which is fine. I mean, you just kind of have to game the system a little bit and not, go make 20 grand in each account. You know what I mean? I mean, the live is cool because I think the goal with a live, moving it to live, is essentially getting the daily payouts and keeping it like a real account. I mean, that's the advantage, right? Which again, at the same time, is kind of the same thing, as having your own account. But you do have some different risk metrics and things you can put in place for yourself under a firm and all that. So, um, but yeah, you saw that video for Vanquish. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, like end of January, February timeframe, maybe like when earning season rolls back around, that they'll have some of that figured out, and we can start to run it up with them as well. By the way, y'all got a minute and 13 seconds. There's 51 people in here. All you got to do is type in exclamation raffle in the chat. You got a minute and 4 seconds to go. There's like 20 couple of you that have not entered to win. How many years I've been trading for? So July of this year, 2025, made 14 years full time. And if you fail the live after they give you another chance to get it back, you can no longer trade with them. I think some of that'll change too. I think some of that will have to change, honestly. All right, let's see. Is there a limit on take? I don't know. He keeps popping in and out. He might be doing something. There is a cap on payouts, yeah. Was I losing trading at the beginning? Yeah, I mean, so I've been 14 years full time, but I was trading, obviously learning and all that prior to that. All right, giveaway just ended there. Trade Sinker. So I saw a video actually today. So Tradeovate Prop, you can create the groups and not have to use any kind of copy or anything like that. It automatically puts it into a group and it'll essentially copy trade for you. That's now, I guess, built into the plan. I don't technically use Tradeovate itself. I like Ninja personally. Um, but yeah, I saw that today. So if that's the case, then there's essentially no need for any of the copy softwares that are out there. I think from a Ninja standpoint, the one that they have is pretty solid, and it lets you link up any prop firm you want because it's through technically Ninja, I guess, in a way. So you can have as many as you want on there. What's up, Adam? All right, let's pick a winner here for this Apex account. I don't know. Joe might know. Or Hassan might know. Like I said, I don't technically use Tradeovate. I use Ninja. Let's go, Coley. Coley winning a free Apex account. I know you're in the chat. Hit me up. Make sure you're still on here. What's up, dude? Did you get yourself in the Discord? Did you make your way into the Discord? If not, shoot me a DM on Apex doesn't work in India. Hey Shadow, what prop firms work in India? We gotta help our boy Coley out. We gotta help our boy Coley out. By the way, for those of you that are just tuning in, if you click that pinned message in the chat, he said, "Damn that stuff." If you click the pinned message, that'll get you guys into the Discord, the free section of the Discord. He said, "Sir, I'm not Indian." I know you're not Indian, but I'm asking you. I feel like it's something you might know. Oh, that's funny. Shadow is actually a great name for a degenerate AI system. ChatGPT should be called Shadow GPT. I actually kind of like that. Shadow AI. Might be onto something. All right, let's give away. We've been talking about these select plans and stuff through Tradeify. We really haven't talked anything about markets yet, but let's go ahead and give away some of these select plans. By the way, here's that link for Apex. Joe will do another one of those little fun things later as well. See how quick your fingers are this time. All right, there's a link there as well for Tradeify. And we'll go ahead and drop in and do a Tradeify select account. All right, sweet. That should be live. Exclamation raffle in the chat. Get you guys entered to win. This one is for a Tradeify select account. That is the new accounts in which they just dropped today. It dropped today. That's the one you want? If you won the Apex, he was going to donate it to charity. Just give it to Coley. You can put it to good use. We'll give him 2. You still didn't answer my question, technically, by the way. The giveaway is right here. Just exclamation raffle in the chat. That's all you got to do. Just type in exclamation raffle in the chat, and it'll handle the rest. All right, let's talk about some markets. Throw me out some tickers. Throw me out some questions. We've been just kind of just chatting here. Let's take a look and see what there is to do in the old trader web out here. Silver. Silver's got a nice little spot here at 59.14s. I kind of think that if we can get up through that tomorrow, silver could have a nice little run. What do we do with the indices for tomorrow? So at this point, we're just so close to 20, and I say so close, we're still 200 to 250 points away to that 25,864s for the NASDAQ and that 25,900 that's above. So, I mean, we still have, some decent room to try and push up there. I think that's going to be the play. Still is just looking for that continuation of the upside. When you look at the Russell today, and this was my biggest kind of goof on the day, was looking down here. I thought 8170s was going to hold, and it was a really nice looking setup over in here. And we had the divergence in the S&P and the NASDAQ prior to that. I probably should post that up actually, because it's a really pretty divergence on NASDAQ there at the 950 bar. And we came down, we got signals, we got arrows in place, all the things. So it was a really, really nice divergence. And I liked it. I was short. I flipped, or I didn't flip, but I closed my short out on that divergence, but I just could not bring myself to flip that and long it. But ends up being really, really nice lows down there. We rallied 200 points in NASDAQ and whatever this is, 30 couple points here in the Russell. So I think it's just continuation of that. Whenever we see something like, when you look at the daily chart on this, and it's like, and also before we do that, we can take a look at the weekly chart. Like Russell just made a very bold statement last week with a 134 point range, straight to the upside on the weekly chart. But whenever we see something like this, specifically on the daily chart, when you look at the two indices, pretty much most of the time you're going to see S&P's NASDAQ move together, right? And then you're going to see Russell Dow kind of move together. And when you see that, right, it's like, okay, Russell did this today. Like just take a quick snapshot of that daily in your head, right? And then you see what the Dow did today, right? And it's like, okay, both of those had really, really nice moves. And you compare that to the S&Ps and you compare that to the NASDAQ, and it's like, all right, we have relatively small bars compared to that, right? So if we look at the SPY, this is how we can get the percentage change on the day, right? For SPY, we're at 0.35% on the day. For NASDAQ, QQQ, we're up 0.24% on the day. When you look at the IWM, we're up 1.82% on the day, right? So 1.5 percentage greater than what either of the other two are up on the day. And then you add in the Dow there, and it's 0.87%, right? So from a pure percentage change standpoint, which literally just like right there is where I'm looking at on my screen, just next to where it says 479.41. I guess I could have used a pointer. But this feels better, even though it's kind of trying to figure out which way to point it. But right up here is where I'm looking at that when I punch that in. So just so you guys can see that. So IWM here, 1.82%. Obviously the futures roll. So when the futures reopen at 6 p.m. Eastern, the numbers change. So you have to look at, SPY, QQQ, IWM, DIA. But yeah, when we see something like that, I say all of that to come back to Christian's question, which was, what do we do with the indices tomorrow? And I think we just try and find a way to play the continuation to the upside, right? We're either going to see one of two things. We're going to see a continuation out of the Russell and the Dow, right? And S&Ps and NASDAQ just kind of lag again like they did today, but they still end up rallying, kicking and screaming, right? Or we see Russell Dow take a little bit of a pause day. Maybe they're not as strong as they were today, maybe the Russell doesn't rally another 1.82% on the day, um, and we see S&Ps and Nasdaq kind of kick it up a notch and try and play a little bit of catch up, right? So the one of those two scenarios is the thing in which I think we'll see. And when you look at a 5-minute chart today, it's pretty clear, like, hey, 10 minutes into the day, the Russell was just like, yeah, I want to do something good today. Like, I want to rally, or I'm going to fail absolutely miserably well from here. And we're going to go like all the way down here, 2462s and maybe even lower, right? So there is still some upper levels here to go get tested as well, in the Russell, which I think can probably happen tomorrow. And fingers crossed that we don't get a gap up into targets tomorrow, because I think that would be one of the worst things that we could see happen. Because then essentially we're at targets and it's like, okay, do we try and fade this or try and still get continuation from that? But yeah, I think that's the game plan. Waiting for a divergence tomorrow, sometime 9:45, 10 o'clock, similar to what we saw today, and then going from there, right? And that divergence just simply looks like this. When you look at the S&Ps, it's like, boom, you can see we make new lows here at 950, right? We look at the NASDAQ, boom, we make new lows here at 950, right? And then when you look at the Russell, you can see we're not making new lows here at 950. Like, we're holding these lows. Like, this is where the Russell's saying, hey, I'm kind of telling you I think I want to go higher today, right? It's standing out. And then same thing with the Dow, right? The Dow actually holds that morning low just as well at 950 there. So looking for something like that tomorrow, I think is going to be the play. And I'll be trading all that live on a guest stream tomorrow as well, which I'll, of course, drop the link for that so you guys can come hang out. Yeah, I would have loved a continuation level as well, but we didn't get it, unfortunately. By the way, y'all got like 34 seconds left to go. Exclamation raffle in the chat. Giving away a select account from Tradeify. And if you have not already done so, you can click this link here and check them out. Can you get a top one instead of Apex? Let me see what I can do about that. Let me see what I can do. Well, I thought I saw, did Shadow mention Lucid? Where's your message at? People in India can trade with Lucid, you know that. Yeah, if Lucid works, then we could potentially do that. If not, we can see about getting you set up with top one. Oh, thanks, Adam. So that's a good Discord server. Yeah, for sure. You unlock the when you join the MLT team or the lifetime, you unlock even more stuff though. The MLT chat, Eric's brain dump, coach's chat, morning write up, and a voice chat as well. How can I claim the giveaway? Shoot me since you did win, shoot me and you're not in the Discord yet, shoot me a DM or shoot Osborne a DM on Instagram, and that way we can get you in the Discord, and we can send you the DM from there as well. All right, let's see. I thought Alex had a question too. Where was your question at? How do we get that indicator above your charts? Oh, you talking about this? The take profit, all those things? That's what you're talking about? Did I do anything different today from the big sell-off pre-market right before open? No. No, it didn't really matter. I mean, I still had my levels. Everything's in place. Like I do one of two things: levels and divergence. So like that's it. Those are the only two things in which I'm looking to do. That's in the Discord. It's in the Discord. It's under risk reward tool. Under the get started tab, there's a risk reward tool in there. There's a video on it and the link for it as well. So the way that works is you can just come in here. I think I have it set right now for S&Ps. So I can show this, right? So if we were looking for longs, for example, you just punch the numbers in for what you're thinking, what you're looking for, and it'll let you, have whatever you want with it. So like, for example, in the NASDAQ here, we'll pick a winner in just a second. Looking at take profit up here at say 25,900.75s. Let's say we're looking to get long, hopefully tomorrow at like say 25,650s, and maybe we can get a 25,600 on a stop loss, right? So we got about a 50-point risk on the trade. We can just punch those numbers in, and then it'll go ahead and give us our breakdown on this. So if we risk 50 points on the trade, for example, we've got a total of a 5.02 risk to reward ratio on this. So basically a 5R trade, right? So our total reward would be 250 points if we can make the full move, et cetera, right? So total reward, total risk, et cetera. But yeah, that's available in the Discord as well for free. How do I look for divergence? It's all 4 indices. There's a ton of free videos here on YouTube about the divergence, or the divergence plus the indicator is all inside of the mentorship, which there's a nice little green arrow here. I can add it to this chart. I'll show that real quick, and then we'll do the giveaway. So there you go. There's the nice little green arrow that got populated on the chart here today for NASDAQ. So that's the divergence, which you can see. And then you can see we get some counter trend divergences up here as well, which again, not all divergences are going to be created equal in that sense. But yeah, you can see there that day. It works, like I said, across the 4 main indices there. S&Ps, NASDAQ, Russell, and Dow is what it's designed for. A trade with no level is always tiny size. It depends. It really depends. Would I prefer a level? Yes, of course, right? Like that's always going to be the preferred thing. But doesn't necessarily mean it has to. All right, let's go ahead and pick this winner. This is for a free Tradeify Select account. I'll go ahead and pick a winner. Hey, you got a great name, sir. Eric Heising. Let me know if you're in the chat. Let me, hey Siri, set a timer for 3 minutes. Bitch, you just commented that. Let's go, dude. Congrats. You already in the Discord? Shoot me a DM. If you are not in the Discord, you can join for free by clicking the pinned message at the top of the chat. Shoot me a DM, my guy, and we'll get you set up with that. All right. You said I've lost in the market and in the raffle. Well, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. All right. Congrats to my guy, Eric. Let's see. We'll kick another one off real quick here. We'll do another Apex, and then we'll do another Tradeify as well. All right, exclamation raffle in the chat. Sweet. Yeah, if you messaged him on Instagram, he'll get back to you. Don't hate Shadow. That's probably your favorite prop firm. You just don't want to admit it. You probably fall asleep to Daryl's videos at night. Don't lie to me. That's your white noise. Brendan, what does that show you? The green arrow in comparison if there's a divergence. So that's just what marks the highs and lows for me. That's what's telling me that there's a potential for us to establish a low or a high on the day. It's a strategy in which I created in 2012. Had coded into the indicator. I think it was in 2013, give or take. And I've been using it ever since. I mean, I've got screenshots and videos and things going all the way back for 12, 13 years. It was just something in which I noticed across the indices that was consistent. Like there was something consistently happening every time we marked a high or a low, for the day. Like in reviewing price action and watching price action throughout the day, and all of these things, right? There was always something similar on the charts. There was this thing I kept seeing repeat and repeat and repeat. And there's really only two ways in which a market can set a high or low, a high or a low, not to be confused with a high or low from a trend perspective. But there's really only two ways in which a market can set a high or a low on the day, right? And the vast majority of the time, if you were to just purely based on price go back and look, when we set lows or highs in the market for that particular trading session, right? You can go back manually if you want to on I have it set up as a 4 grid, which just shows me the S&P, NASDAQ, Russell, and Dow in a 4 grid configuration. You'll notice like the lows from yesterday even, right, at 11:30, we did not make new lows in the Dow, right? So when we made lows for yesterday in the NASDAQ, that was from a divergence as well, right? When we made highs yesterday in the NASDAQ, that happened at 10:50. In the Dow, that didn't happen until 11 o'clock. Same thing in the S&Ps, right? So we had a divergence within a divergence, right, inside of like that 10-minute window. And we also did not make new highs at either of those times in the Russell, right? So there's a couple different things that kind of lead into that, right, with the divergences, but they are an area in which, a strategy in which we can find the highs and lows for the day. And if we're able to then execute upon that, right, with good solid risk to reward ratio, entries, have all of those things in our favor, a system in a way in which to enter and manage those positions, et cetera, right? A system all around that. You couple that with levels, for example, like in the Russell, which is why I'm kicking myself for the Russell today, is that, I should have been long somewhere around 2481 70s, to 2484s today, somewhere in that kind of 2-point range. I should have been long there today based on that divergence, and I just didn't pull the trigger on it, right? So, and it was one that I mentioned in pre-market, because in pre-market, the Russell was actually one of the only, well, technically it was the only indice that was green on the day, right? So it gives and tells a lot of information purely just based on price and price alone, which is, at the end of the day, is the only thing. So yeah, that's a long-winded answer, but if you were looking at my 4 grid when I was explaining all that and kind of knew what to look for, then it made a whole lot of sense and gave a whole lot of sauce out right there. But yeah. ES isn't a bull flag channel. Yeah, I don't look at anything like that. None of that, like the typical kind of chart patterns, head and shoulders, bull flag, bear flag, cup and handle, whatever the others are. None of that stuff really matters to me. I'm not playing that. Not saying it doesn't work, right? But for those of you that are in the mentorship and you followed along with that, then you guys know what I'm talking about there. Yeah, exactly. Keep it simple. There's no need to overcomplicate it. All right, y'all got 3 minutes and 50 seconds to get entered to win here. Exclamation raffle in the chat. If you have already won tonight, then don't enter again, please. And I think if you already did win, I can remove you maybe from the giveaway. Actually, never mind, I can't. I won't pick you again if you did win, though. But yeah, exclamation in the chat. You guys got 3 minutes and 15 seconds. He said, I think we'll see a decent sell-off by the time the year ends from the looks of it. I don't really much either, just an observation. Yeah, I don't have any plans for a sell-off anytime soon, necessarily. Until we lose trend, there's really, the only real shot that we had of that this week was essentially this morning. I mean, we've had two gaps on the week, essentially Monday morning and today, both of them almost under green bars. And we didn't do that. See a couple Rake fams getting accounts. Yeah. Rake is a part of the MLT fam, actually. So in some ways byproduct of yeah, all MLT fam, right? Exactly. W is in the chat for sure. Y'all got 1 minute and 45 seconds. You're a mastermind, and I thank you immensely. Yeah, for sure. If the levels helped you out, then I am happy to hear that. He said, but we're cooler. I can't say that. I can read your comment, but I can't say that. No, that's all love. That's all love. We created a movement on levels. I mean, at the end of the day, that's essentially what it boils down to. There's people whose lives have been affected that don't even know who I am, which is crazy to think about, but also awesome at the same time. All right, y'all got 43 seconds, exclamation raffle in the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and hide this just to get it off the screen. By the way, you guys can throw questions out. You can throw tickers out if you want me to take a look at those, etc. How does the wifey feel being married to the inventor of levels? I mean, she's a lucky woman. What can I say? She's a lucky woman. I'm also lucky, to be fair, though. You know who I am? I should pull that on her one day. Like, listen, shh, do you know who you're talking to? If I show up on stream one day and I got a black eye, then that's the move I pulled. You guys will know. All right. Tell her to address you as Mr. Levels. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. All right, let's pick a winner here. Kaylino. 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 I don't know how to say that. Congrats. Kaylee No or Kaylino 9316. We'll go ahead and set a timer. Hey Siri, set a timer for 3 minutes. You got 3 minutes. Let's see real quick. He said take a look at a Bitcoin. We'll take a look at Bitcoin here for a second. He said medium or medium rare. Medium. A medium. A good schmedium. It's the only way to cook a steak. It's a good schmedium. Hey, let's go. Congrats, Kaylee. Congrats. Hit me up in the, shoot me a DM in Discord. And again, if you are not already in the Discord, the pinned message up at the top of the screen will get you guys into the free Discord. All right, we'll complete that one. Good work. Good work. Good work. All right, let me see. What do we got here? What's your thoughts on the 2 minute? Thinking about just sticking to 5 minute for entries? I love the 2 minute personally. I love the 2 minute. Eric's kid's name is gonna be Russell Level Marcus. That's actually funny. What charting software? I use Thinkorswim. I think Thinkorswim is honestly the best charting platform in the world. Be Mr. Levels next Halloween. Dude, there was a kid, oddly enough, his name was Brian. There was a kid, Brian, when I was growing up in high school, and we did a Halloween. I don't know if they still allow kids to do it, like if you can dress up for Halloween and like whatnot, but I would hope so. But I don't know. We don't have any kids in public school. So he was on the swim team, which is funny because we lived in the country. Somehow we had a golf team and we had a swim team. But he was on the swim team and he came in for the Halloween party day thing and he had on a white wife beater and he put 3/4 across his chest and taped them on there and wrote 75 cent as his, that was his, instead of 50 cent he was 75 cent. And oh, there's the timer. And it was like, it was the funniest thing. It might not have been the funniest thing now, but at the time, and just like the, if you knew his personality and like the way he was, just cocky, arrogant, the fastest swimmer because we didn't have any other swimmers essentially, and it was hilarious. I don't know what made me think of that, but yeah. All right, let's start a giveaway here on a Tradeify Select account. Boom! Exclamation raffle in the chat. Let's see. Oh, we'll take a look at Bitcoin here. In your 13 plus years trading, how long did it take you to become consistently profitable and on the up and up? So there was a process of learning and everything. Um, I've been trading for like 6, 7 years before I went full time. So I mean, to be honest with you, like the whole idea, um, he said 51 cents is better. Yeah, that's probably true. That's funny, but um, it was just hilarious as a kid, and I vividly remember that, like seeing him walking down the hallway. It's like one of those core memories I'll never forget in my head. Um, no, what was I gonna say? Um, oh yeah. I mean, everybody that's in the mentorship has heard this story, but when I started my first account, I had 2 grand, and the difference in which everybody has now, like the advantages in which you have compared to when I started, which sounds crazy because it was like essentially 20 years ago at this point, right? Um, the first account in which I had set up was in my dad's name because obviously I wasn't 18 at the time when I first got involved in the markets, and I had this 2 grand, threw it in the account, and my first purchase ever, my first trade, was in Exxon. And at the time, I didn't know this, but you had to pay $9.99 to enter a trade. You had to pay $9.99 to get out of a trade. So, and it didn't matter whether that was 1 share or 100 shares. It didn't matter whether it was one contract on an options or 10 contracts on options. At that time, you had to pay $9.99 on options plus $1.50 per contract. So when I bought the first, when I bought the first share of Exxon back in the day, my $2,000 account immediately went down by like $10, and I was like, what you mean? Like the stock prices legitimately moved like 2 cents. So I didn't know that it was going to be $9.99 to even place a trade. So the fact that you can now place trades for virtually $0 um, is a massive advantage. And the amount of content, the amount of availability to everything else, prop firms, etc., all that is insane. But yeah, so yeah, I started from legitimately knowing absolutely nothing. Yeah, I started with stocks. By the way, exclamation raffle in the chat there will get you guys entered for that. A free Tradeify Select account. All right, Bitcoin here. So Bitcoin Shadow, I would love to see a pullback to 91, 195s tomorrow, and then rip it out from there. Honestly, a gap down into like 92,000, a small spike down into there, and then a rip would be the preferred. If we could do that, I would be more than open to participating in a rally from that. I would be more than okay with that. What's up, Tyler? But yeah, exclamation a raffle in the chat. ETH here, kind of same thing. It needs to pull back to like 3,000. Same exact thing, 3,009 there. If we can get a pullback to there, which is essentially taking out all of today's action and this after hours rally so far, which is going to be tough to do. But yeah, if we can do that, I don't know if that'll happen this week or not. When and if that can happen, I would be paying really, really close attention, because if we fail that, then there's room down to this 28, 26s here, which we front ran on Tuesday, yesterday. You vote for Green Jesus? It's certainly possible. It ran away from that lower level in Bitcoin. That whole entire move this week was legitimately all because we held 84 350s down here. If we broke that 84 350s, we were getting absolutely wrecked. And again, that level was in place obviously before we even came into the week. 3 minutes and 56 seconds, by the way, exclamation raffle in the chat. Yeah, it's definitely squeezing this week. Do I think prop firms can lead to being a full-time trader? Yeah, honestly. At the end of the day, I think they're probably one of the best things currently that we have on the board for newer traders. Now, don't get me wrong, they definitely have their cons as well as their pros, but overall, I think they are a good thing for the space, and I think that's only going to continue to get better. How do I invest long term? So I have a couple different ways. The simplest and easiest way, which is what I tell everyone that I meet that's like, oh, like they find out I'm a trader or whatever the case is, which I've got like some attorney friends and stuff, and they're always like the ones to ask questions, and like, you know, they will like, you know, so and so is like, you know, getting sued by this or whatever, and blah blah blah. Like attorneys are very interesting. They make for very interesting traders, obviously because they like to argue and debate and all those things. But and they like to win. They like to be right. So, and they obviously, I don't say this in the wrong way, but they feel like they're intelligent because they are, right. They passed a bar. You know, they know a lot of things. They've seen a thing or two, and so they're just very them and engineers and doctors, like the higher paying professions and things like that you have to go to college for, they're always very bold and brazen to ask those questions and such. And the way in which I tell people is just legitimately every single Monday, I have a set dollar amount, and 25% of that goes into SPY, 25% goes into QQQ, 25% goes into Russell, and 25% goes into Dow. So at a bare minimum, I'm completely like diversified across the indices, and it just happens every single Monday. So like that's the easiest way in which to say here's a way to long-term invest. Otherwise, just buy companies that you know. You know, like there was a dude I knew up in Northern Virginia when I lived up there, and Chipotle was like one of his largest holdings. And which this would have been freaking 2012, probably. We could go back and look at pre-split, because there's been a couple of splits since then, or I guess technically just one split since then, but he probably is sitting at somewhere in the neighborhood of like $5 as an average price on Chipotle. So it was really, really good, obviously, you know, a year ago at 60, 65 bucks. He's still not bad at $33, you know what I mean? So, and he's like, I like Chipotle. I eat Chipotle. I'm just legit, like, I kid you not, like 80% of his portfolio was completely in, and it was a 7-figure portfolio, was in Chipotle. So, I mean, if that held true and he didn't get rid of any, you know, he's probably sitting close to 8 figures in Chipotle at this point. It's a crazy strategy, but yeah. So basically, regarding crypto, short term, no buy and holds. Yeah, I have some. I mean, my first long in Bitcoin was at 160 bucks, and I got out of it and thought I was a genius. So, but yeah. Do I ever do leaps in long term versus stock? Not really. Not really. It would have worked out beautifully this year. I think after this next pullback, which I think occurs in probably 2027, I think next year is obviously is. I say that to say I think next year obviously is going to be good as well from a long perspective, and then I think 2027 it'll be a little bit rough. At the moment, that's kind of the way in which I'm leaning. I wouldn't be opposed to doing some leaps then. After that, all right. Make sure I didn't. Yeah, Overlord Oscar. Yeah, he was up what 500 and was he at 502 grand on the 505 grand on the day? Yeah. Yeah, I keep saying I gotta do it, but I gotta go to him and get an interview done. The dude's been crushing it. We talked. When did we talk? Let me see here. Yeah, we talked middle of November. He's up 8 figures. He's up 8 figures since he took the mentorship, which is crazy. That's crazy. Oh, dude, that is so unfortunate. I had Bitcoin at pennies on the dollar and my wallet was hacked, leaving me with nothing. Dude, that is crazy. Super unfortunate. Why not include ES in your diversification? But yeah, SPY is the S&P. ES. You're not gonna long-term futures though. It's not a good. There's no point in playing for rolls and all that. You would just buy SPY. All right, let's go ahead and pick a winner here, and then we'll wrap it up and call it a night. Who is Oscar? OV Lord in the chat. All right, let's pick this winner. D by B. D by B. Hey Siri, set a timer for 3 minutes. Oh shit, he's here. D by B. Congrats, my dude. Or girl. I don't actually know. Yeah. Go work. Go work. All right, shoot me a DM on Discord if you're not already in the Discord. Pinned message, click it. It'll get you in there for free. And that way you can shoot me a DM. How many did we give away? We gave away 5? Was that 5? I think that was 5, right? It was 4. Don't you play games with me. Don't you play games with me. All right, we're going to spice it up a little bit. Just because we're getting ready to get off. We're going to spice it up a little bit. Was it really only 4? Joe already knows what's coming. Joe knows what's coming. All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm pretty sure it was 5. Why are you messing with me, dude? Let me see. It was 5. Fuckers. Yeah, Raiden, Coley, Eric, Kaylee, and Deby. I think your name needs to be Debo. Debo. If you guys don't get that reference, then I'm severely disappointed in you, by the way. All right, we're gonna have a little fun. So I dropped a link. Yeah, Friday. I dropped a link in there to Apex. So here's what I want you to do. We did this once before, and it worked out really, really well. So you're gonna go ahead, pick the account that you want, get everything loaded up on the screen, ready to go, and then I'm gonna drop a coupon in the chat. And if you can get that coupon copied, pasted, and to the next screen, then you get the account. So go ahead, and it'll work for any size account that you want. So we'll give you guys a couple minutes. Go ahead and do that. Get logged in and get set up on the account or on the page there. And then I'll drop the code into the chat in just a couple minutes. Shadow says, I've been seeing a lot more women trading lately. Dude, I'm going to send you this. Look at the views. I'm sure you've seen this chick before. But look at the views in which she is getting on her like trading content. I'm gonna DM this to you on Discord right now. But yes, I agree with you. I've definitely seen more females getting into trading. Dude, look at the views on her account there. I just sent it to you. I feel like that's the type of content you need to make, dude. You made that type of content, smoking some shadow kush. You'd be in business, bro. You'd be in business. Joe is ready. All right, you guys ready? He said, I've thought about it. I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have. Getting high, drinking wine right now. Nice. You not ready yet? Y'all ready? Pull out the tinfoil hat, talk Ponzi's. Bro, so crazy thing. I don't think you were in the stream when we were talking about it today. I'm going to go back to this because my mind is still blown. Someone was disproving it. Boss Man was in the chat disproving the whole thing. I was listening to a podcast last night, and apparently Tupac was gay. I've been legitimately thinking about this for the past 24 hours. And Tupac's dead, so like it really doesn't matter. Totally blew my mind though. So this one's probably gonna stick with me for a couple days. I gotta do. He said there was a book, Perlman and all this stuff. But yeah, you go back and watch. There's a video of Tupac when he was like 17, and you watch the video and you're like all right, $20, $20. So apparently the whole thug thing was maybe an act. I don't know if it's true. We got some people trying to say it's not true. I got to do some more research on it. But craziest thing I've heard probably in all of 2025. And we've heard some crazy shit in 2025, to be honest. What are you doing to get to the prop firm page? So you go all the way to the checkout page. Like pick out your prop firm or pick out the size of your account, all the things. If you guys are ready, just drop a 1 in the chat for me, please. If we got more than 10 people ready, I know Joe's ready. It's on Apex. It's at 420. Bro, can you fly to my house? I feel like we should just chill. I actually don't even know your real name. But you've been in the chat for how long you been around? Let me see. Bro, you've been in the chat for 6 years. 6 years. It's over 6 years. August 16th, 2019. Damn. Yeah, put the code where it says coupon code. Yeah, this is moving into year 7. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Link dropped in there. Let's see what happens. You got it again? Son of a bitch. Oh, that's funny. All right. Everybody still got it ready? I'm gonna drop one in the I'm gonna drop a link in the Discord for anybody that did not get it because Joe sniped it. There's another one in one of the chats in Discord. Go find it. And that's the last one we're giving away for the night. The last one we're giving away for the night. Let's see who finds it. You think you got it? Yeah, for sure. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Went through? I dropped another one. There's another one in the chat somewhere. You got it again? You son of a bitch. He's freaking on it. You got it in trading desk? Yeah. You son of a bitch. Yeah, it says the coupon limit has been exceeded. Yeah, that's because freaking Joe sniped them all. All right, let me delete that message. Code won't work anymore. The next time I do it, I'm going to make sure that he cannot see, Joe cannot see whatever chat I put it in. Yeah, you got to be quick. You got to beat Joe. You gotta beat Joe. Do I have the same maybe for Tradeify or Lucid? I do not have any more, unfortunately, to give out for Tradeify or Lucid. I'm hoping they'll give me some. Tradeify gave me a couple for tonight. I'm hoping they'll give me a couple more um, potentially for next week. But yeah, if you are looking to sub an account at either one of those, code MLT will give you the best deal they have. He said, I'll stay out of the next one. You should be stacked by now, dude. You should be stacked. Time to go grill a steak for my girlfriend, drink some wine. Nice, dude. Have a great rest of your evening, Shadow. Well, we didn't talk too much about markets, but we had some fun. Gave away some accounts. For those of you that hit me up through DMs that won accounts, it does show me here. Congrats to Raiden, Coley, Eric, Kaylee, and Debo on winning those. Yeah, there isn't much to look at, honestly. I'm hoping tomorrow is at least something to do, a little bit active there, a little bit of activity for us. A quiet overnight action, quiet overnight session would be perfect going into tomorrow. But yeah, appreciate you guys jumping on, hanging out. Like I said, I'm trying my best to get the prop firms to my goal. My idea is to get a couple different firms to give me 5 accounts each week that we can jump on a Wednesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, and talk about markets, do exactly what we just did, and give away an account every 10, 15 minutes or so, and kind of chat it up and do the thing. So the more in which you guys use code MLT at all of your favorite prop firms, Apex, Shadows, Take Profit, Lucid, Top One, Tradeify, MLT works with all of those, the more leeway they'll give me for getting more accounts in order to give away. So hopefully we can continue to grow that. We do some giveaways throughout the week as well inside of the Discord and on stream and stuff as well. So the more in which you guys use the code and support that, the more likely they are to continue to give me accounts in order to give away. So anyways, that's what I got for you guys tonight. I appreciate you. Hopefully you guys get to use those accounts, have some fun with them, enjoy the volatility that I'm hoping continues and kind of comes up. I think next week is actually going to be a really, really nice week. I will be on stream tomorrow, but it's not going to be on my channel. I'm going to be a guest on someone else's stream. So be sure to check my Instagram. I'm actually going to go ahead and post up a story here as soon as we wrap up the giveaway. And you guys can be looking for that tomorrow. It'll be an interesting little stream. I haven't done one of these like this. And outside of having Osborne on and stuff like that, which we appreciate him coming on. And no, it's not on Tradeify. No, I do need to go on Tradeify TV though. I am trying to get a little bit more active on all of those things and reaching out there, doing some guest appearances and stuff. So anyways, we'll see how tomorrow goes. I'm excited for it. I think it'll be fun. And hopefully the markets give us something to work with. If not, it's going to be a rather boring stream. So yeah, anyways, appreciate you guys. Links down in the description if you're interested in mentorship, any of the prop firms, all of those things. And yeah, if you have any questions, obviously shoot me a DM on Discord. I'm not going to DM you first. If I do, for some odd reason, maybe you say something out of pocket or whatever the case is, then you can check and make sure it's my real account. I'm the top one in the Discord on the right-hand side. On any of the chats, you'll see me, MLT Eric. But there are scammers out there. So for those of you that are new to the Discord, even those of you that are old to the Discord, they still like to try and scam some people and hit them up through DMs, pigeon them some crypto bullshit or whatever the case is. Don't fall to any of that. If you did DM me, I'll get back to you. And like I said, if you do have any questions, all that, then feel free to hit me up on DM as well. So that's what I got. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your evenings, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.